talk about this immigration issue, which everybody is talking about and weighing in on, and in most cases without any information. We have Steve Riznyk. He is a business and immigration attorney who has been practicing for 29 years. He's also an author, and he not only creates cases for immigration lawyers, but has been in the training of them for decades on these complex issues. Stephen, welcome to the show. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you, Josh. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So, wow, what an issue. I mean, we have people who are protesting at airports. We have people who are saying that somehow countries have become races. What's going on?
Well, I've tried to analyze all this. As you can imagine, from a number of perspectives, it's hard to put your arms around it. What I've gathered from reading about 6 inches of materials, I mean, the president's heart is in the right place, but I don't know about the execution of it and how it's all going to unfold. And I think that's where the problem lies. I think the biggest problem, from the airport and what caused the emotional impact you discussed in your show yesterday, is that people were taken by surprise. I think that was the worst part of it all. I think if there was some notice, if there was some kind of a tragedy in the United States, that's one thing. But people who were in legitimate jobs, in legitimate positions, professionals, families, mortgages, and everything were taken by surprise. And I think that's where we had the emotional outpouring because of that.
Were they taken by surprise, or were they just not believing him when he said he was going to do it? This came with like a 5-month warning.
Whatever people, obviously President Trump has had a number of people who are not crazy about him. But no matter what you say about the president, you got to give him credit. He says something, he does it. And so and he doesn't waste time. So, yeah, I think maybe they weren't expecting that.
So talk about a little bit about how this was not some sort of humanitarian crisis, because I was at the airport, and based on the liberal media, you would have thought we were keeping people in pens and feeding them drool. That's not what this was. And a lot of these people who were quote-unquote detained or delayed, a lot of them weren't even upset about it. They were like, okay, yeah, so this is the process we have to make. Was the reaction worse than the actual action?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even when I travel a lot, and, even when people have a delay in an airplane or even have to change airplanes, God forbid, they go out of control. So I absolutely agree with you on that. They overdid it a little bit. But my bigger concern is Presidential Order 13768 that deals with, the definition of criminal and what happens there. That creates even more problems than the airport detentions.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, God. Well, the president has turned around and created a list of enforcement priorities in this country. And, he states anybody who's been convicted of any criminal offense. And I could talk to you on that one for 8 hours alone. But then we also have people who've been charged with an offense, and it hasn't been resolved. But then the worst part of it is, and again, it goes from A through G, so I'm not covering every one, but the worst part of it is somebody who is suspected. Now, if you read that presidential order, with the presidential order that deals with the building of the fence, being on the Mexican border, we are having the governors speak with the federal government on giving police officers the power to enforce immigration. And all you need there, if I read it correctly, is 1 year experience in your job and a 4-week training course from ICE, which is Enforcement Division of Immigration, and bingo, you're deciding on somebody's life. And I have to say, having been in this industry for 29 years, nothing beats experience. And over time, Josh, And just as you know in your field as a consultant, you learn things, you see them from different perspectives, and you understand things that you were before in I didn't know that I didn't know this. You know what I mean? And so I don't think that somebody with that little experience can decide one of the most complex areas of law on the planet Earth. And so now, let's say an employer, and we have a labor law division. We have a lot of employers who hire foreign people. And we get calls from foreign people, some of them documented, some of them undocumented. And they say, my employer made me work 14 hours, didn't give me a lunch, wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, da-da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, the California Labor Board is not crazy about that. There are fines imposed for things like that. So what does the employer do? He forces the guy, he says, look, you shut up or I'm going to deport you. Okay, fine. Which in the term today is removal. But so they say that to the guy, and that's what's going on today as we speak. But under the new law, all he has to do is call the police and say, this guy stole this from my shop. Now the guy is removed. So people will be set up. Another point that I mentioned, for example, in one of my press releases was we have issues where, because we deal with waivers in immigration, and a waiver, Josh, is where the government basically overlooks or forgives a past mistake of yours, whether it be criminal, overstay, that kind of a thing. And we have a number of people who call us and say, look, I had a sexual crime, domestic violence, and da-da-da-da-da, but I didn't do it. Okay. Well, it's hard for me to believe that every single person who calls is lying. Of course some of them did it. Of course they're going to lie to their lawyer.
Right.
But it's possible that maybe a few were set up. And one of my old friends who was a lawyer one time called me and said, bail me out from jail. And I said, what did you do, drink and drive? And he said, no, I'm in for domestic violence. I thought he was kidding. Well, I go to jail to bail him out. Sure enough, he was charged with domestic violence. He said, I knew him. I knew his fiancée or girlfriend at the time. And I said, what happened? And he said, I'm not guilty. He said, she turned around, I won't mention names, so let's call her Mary. Mary turned around, beat herself up because I told her I wasn't ready to be married with her, and then called the police on me. And I thought, what a story. It seems a bit, out there, Josh. So sure enough, I got invited to their wedding a month later. She was bragging about it. She said, it's so easy in California. You can do anything, pick up the phone, and you got the guy. So let's say somebody ends up in a situation in immigration where, you're marrying a foreign person, you've agreed to this, agreed to that, finances are mixed up. All they have to do is pick up the phone and say, this guy committed a sexual crime on me, or this guy hit me. Bingo, he's arrested, he's out of here. It doesn't matter what the truth is. So I can see a lot of setups happening because of that.
But what about the part that says and it's not resolved? Because it's not just charged, it's charged and not resolved. So if he was found innocent, then obviously that wouldn't be part of the equation. But we'll talk about that. Hold on one sec. We're up against the break. Take the break. Talk about it on the other side. Don't go anywhere, folks. Want to be the smartest person you know? Then keep listening. This is the Josh Tully Show on GCN Radio Network.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Poleski of the Poleski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas, is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
There was a mighty nation, blessed above all of creation.
Charlie Daniels, he's always loved America. He's always defended the Second Amendment.
Let me just read a little thing here from Agenda 21. The American system of justice must be changed to conform to the rest of the world. Individual rights will have to take a back seat to the collective. Well, you know what the next move's going to be, don't you? It's going to be coming after your gun.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, it ain't going to sit well down my way at all. It ain't gonna sit well.
Do you ever wonder what happened to America?
It's time to ride, boys. We need 1,000 Paul Reveres.
When I was a boy, it was okay to be proud of the flag, heritage, mom, and apple pie. And beef was for supper. Revelation, Dawn of Global Government. Theatrical screenings on demand. DVDs now available. Starring Alex Jones, Charlie Daniels, Special Ops General Jerry Boykin. Want to shed some tears over the red, white, and blue? Revelation, the movie.info. Let's fix it.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
All right, we're talking to Steve Riznyk. He's an author, immigration attorney, and expert in these areas, and we're addressing the idea that this immigration system is broken. And before the break, we brought up an executive order reference, 13768, which goes through these number of things that can empower an enforcement priority. And, sir, isn't part of the idea here to stop people from thinking it's a good idea to come here? I mean, if people are like, hey, wait a second, if I cross over this line illegally and I engage in some sort of, business affair or marital affair, I'm risking a lot because they can just claim I did something and throw me out.
You're right, Josh. It does, but yet I don't think that's where the president's heart is. I don't think he's trying to make it a scary place to live, because especially you were just before the break, you were addressing issue 5B, an enforcement priority where a person's been charged with a criminal offense where such charge has not been resolved. That would be scary. You come here, you work hard, you get a green card, you're not eligible for citizenship because you haven't had it for 5 years. And then you get charged with something, God knows what. Could be, usually it's a traffic offense. And then, but let's say that it's not an infraction. You know what I mean? There's an accident involved and it goes above that of an infraction. That's it. You're out of here. But that is absolutely one of the effects. But I don't think that's what the president's trying to do. I think he's trying to clean up, the criminal element. The problem is I think the net is cast too wide, because I would be afraid as well, just as my clients are, if I had a green card or a visa and this is what I'm facing.
So what would you propose as a solution to that sort of issue? Because part of the problem is we have all these people who really do take advantage of the system, and many of them have great hearts, and to be honest, I might do the same, but it still doesn't take away from the reality of the situation. What would you propose?
Well, I think the biggest problem, I understand where he's coming from, and I'm not pro or against immigration, because just as you state, there are arguments on either side, and some sections of the law need fixing, some don't, et cetera, et cetera. But at least to this area, we need some clear-cut guidelines. We can't leave it up to the discretion of somebody who's been a police officer for 1 year and is barely a fully matured adult deciding on your future then and there. I mean, things like that just are too far-reaching. And I think also if we throw due process out the window in America, thinking as a negotiator, it's going to turn countries looking at us in a very different way, and I don't think that's what we're about, and I don't think that's something we want to make people think we're about. And unfortunately, due to the lack of federal regulations, CFR's Code of Federal Regulations, outlining how we execute on these, if you look at them in black and white, which is all we have right now, you got a sledgehammer in a china shop.
So, but part of the problem right now is that the way we're doing it now doesn't work. What we have now doesn't work. And the process to fix that obviously has to come through some sort of outline that says, okay, well, look, if you catch somebody doing something, there's an automatic consequence. I don't like the idea of not having a due process, but at the same time, we have to realize that sometimes we're affording a process to people who are not citizens, and that due process is something that is a little bit too involved, where these things can last for years and years and nothing happens.
Yeah, when you say last for years and years, what are you thinking? Complex criminal cases? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm talking immigration sort of issues. I know some people even here locally who've been tied up in this immigration thing about, is his wife going to leave or not leave for 2.5 years? Well, that's 2 years, 4 months, way too long to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, what I would like to ideally see? I'd like to see President Trump have a think tank of various people involved in different aspects of immigration. Say you have 50 people, 30 people, and have meetings, even, through Skype or something, and discuss their perspectives so that we can put together a method of making the system work. Because right now I've been looking at this system for 29 years, and I was a consultant in business process engineering for the longest time. I thought, oh, my God, what a dream job to fix immigration, because there's nothing I enjoy more is seeing something that's a mess and then cleaning it up and making it work. But now it's a job I wouldn't want because it's just so much to do, and there's so many parts to it. But I have analyzed all the parts, at least the ones that I work with, and I noticed the many faults and many issues. Now, one of the things that I would do if I were president or if I was in charge of immigration, the very first thing that I would do is expedite the system. The system right now is like driving through mud. And part of the problem with that is, especially when the president is speaking, for example, of enforcement, of border protection, this is an area, if you're looking at the immigration department or the country as a business, and I think of myself as a businessman with a law degree, so that's how I think. If you're looking at it from that perspective, immigration and border protection doesn't generate revenue. It simply costs money. And in order to execute on the plans that he has put forth in his orders, we need a lot of money, and we're burning good money. And we're not talking millions, we're talking billions. So the first thing, my first priority would be find a method to expedite on this, because the more people are in detention, the more detention facilities we have to build, the more we're losing money in a non-revenue producing part of the country. It's a necessary part, absolutely, but it doesn't produce revenue. So we need to find a way to expedite. Now, I'm not talking about bringing back the catch and release program. But let's find a way to hire, because we've been having trouble hiring immigration judges, as you know. But find a way to hire somebody, and let's have these meetings or hearings, whatever you want to call them, take place with a foreign person in like 3 days. Make a decision, move on. Let's get on to the next person and allocate maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes per person, and it's done. But because the same problem of running slowly is also affecting us on the flip side. Like our law firm deals with a lot of people of high caliber who are very intelligent, and they apply for what's called EB1, people of extraordinary ability in business, arts, sciences, athletics, and education. And I know one scientist, for example, who applied, who was absolutely, wonderful for the country. But the system was taking so long that he said, you know what, let me just go to Canada. I'm not going to sit here wondering what's going to happen. And when you've got, processes that are taking 6 and 8 months, we're losing the best people in the world where we can afford to have them, we need them, and we should have them because we are the world leader.
So what's the biggest factor in that slowdown process? Is it the lack of judges?
I have to be honest. I don't know. I was trained by one of the 3 people when I was in Boston who developed business process reengineering. And so I re-engineer my firm every 6 months, so I know what's going on. In order to really know what's slowing it down, I'd have to literally spend a week with immigration, see what's going on. I couldn't imagine what's going on. I don't know why it takes forever to get anything done. But in certain areas, that's so damaging to our country because we need the top, the best, the brightest. And then on top of that, Josh, it's not just that it's a deadly slow system. You have nobody to contact. If I send in a case, there's nobody that I can talk to about it, that I can relate to, answer a quick question, and move it on. Nothing.
That sounds like a mess. So, sir, hold on 1 second. We're up against the break. I want to talk about how people are linking some of these immigration issues with refugee issues and how they're separate right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
We all have heard about the benefits of fish oils, but what about the presence of heavy metals, PCBs, dioxins, furans, and other contaminants found in fatty tissues of fish? GCNteam.com recognizes this risk and offers IFOS certified tested omega-3 fatty acids. EPA, DHA insist on IFOS omega-3 fatty acid certification. Get the best at GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203.
Do you trust the economy? How about our banking system? Our president states that we're sitting on a bubble right now, and when the Fed raises interest rates, bad things are going to happen. Well, the Fed is outlining rate hikes here and now. There's never been a better time to turn your IRA into physical gold with GSI Exchange. 800-261-5570. That's 800-261-5570. GSI Exchange can make this happen fast, and it's money you control, not the big banks. 800-261-5570. Ask about our Gold and Silver Investors Guide and learn how your qualified IRA transfers can get you $1,500 in free physical gold or silver delivered right to your home. GSI Exchange has an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, too. Get the security for your money now. Call GSI Exchange at 800-261-5570. 800-261-5570. That's 800-261-5570.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman Stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest price filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. You know, as part of Hollywood for a long time, I've seen my fair share of celebrities get in trouble with the IRS. Well, there's one name I trust, the Tax Defense Group. They're the most trusted name in tax. So if you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS, you really need to call my friends at the Tax Defense Group. Ignoring the IRS is not the solution. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, seize your home or business. But the Tax Defense Group could put a stop to all of that and tailor a program that would reduce your tax debt to pennies on the dollar. You gotta love that. So don't just take my word for it. Call them. Find out for yourself. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. And they're open 24 hours a day because they know that tax debt doesn't sleep either.
Call now for your free and confidential tax analysis from the most trusted name in tax. Call 800-361-6907. 800-361-6907.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
All right, we're talking to Steven Riznyk about this immigration sort of issue. SanDiegoBizLaw.com is a great website, and this whole idea on immigration, Steven, is getting a little messy. Because people are so emotionally charged, they're not differentiating between the different classes of immigration. You have, legal immigrants, illegal immigrants, refugees, green card holders, all this sort of asylum seekers. How is this muddying up the water when we're seeing things like the 90 to 100-day pause on certain countries kind of flow into the Mexican border wall argument too?
Josh, you're right about muddying the waters because everybody's just generalizing immigration, and when I speak to intellectual people, they say to me, no, I'm referring to this or I'm referring to that because they're afraid of me misunderstanding them because of how, for example, a lot of people, when they say immigration, what do they think about? Illegal immigration. And then there's a subcategory from that thinks about illegal immigration from Mexico. So it's hard to extricate everything, but I have to tell you, Josh, there's so many different aspects to immigration. And that's a problem when you have, a blanket law or a blanket situation. Because let's say, we were talking about it earlier, Presidential Order 13768. Let's say you have now again, I'm not pro DUI or anything, but I see a lot of, clients have those, and that's how a lot of immigrants end up in jail. Person is in a suspected DUI. Maybe they were driving too fast, charged with reckless driving as well. Now you've got a scientist who's working on a major project, but the law says get rid of him. So what happens? How do you fill that gap right away? You're going to miss, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you've got the flip side. You've got the Mexican wall issue, which is another thing you could have. Literally, I could talk 8 hours on that. That's a whole different area of immigration. I think people need to start, and I think they will now. I really do, because they're now seeing the issues. A lot of people don't know how many issues we have. So I think now people are going to start dividing. So I'm talking about this aspect of immigration or that aspect. For example, we don't deal with asylees or refugees, and that's just a subspecialty. You say, well, you deal in immigration, yes, but now it's become so complex. We want to be good at just what we deal in, not at everything. So everybody is going to start seeing that there's a lot more to immigration than meets the eye, and it's not all about a wall or about somebody from our southern border. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, but isn't that part of the problem where we say, okay, well, here's this important scientist, so let's overlook the DUI? I mean, we shouldn't do that. We don't do that for people like you or I.
I completely agree. I mean, you know, I'm all for everybody being treated equally, and it would be nice if there was that kind of a world. But the problem is, when you state it's suspected, if he was convicted, yes. But now he simply needs to be charged. You see what I mean?
Well, and the resolution has to be the conviction.
No, it doesn't have to be resolved.
Where is he housed while he's charged?
Well, I'm assuming, because I'm not a criminal lawyer, we only deal in white-collar criminal, he's probably going to be involved in, or he's going to probably be let go home on such a minor charge, so he's not going to be housed with us. We're not paying the bill for that.
So then if he has his trial, because that's going to happen if he is charged, if he has his trial and he's found innocent, then he gets to stay.
Yes, but if my interpretation, and my friends, you know, the lawyers I've spoken to, interpretation of 5B is correct, as soon as he's charged, because he's an immigrant, he goes to ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, he's put in an immigration hold, and he's sent back home. It doesn't matter that he's innocent.
Until his case.
No, he doesn't get a case.
Well, sure he does. Because it says right there, I have it right in front of me. So let's say he's sent back home. Let's say he's back to Guatemala, wherever he's from. Well, if he's charged, that charge doesn't just remain open for eternity. That charge has to come to a conclusion, either a guilty, no contest, whatever it has to come to. So if he has to go home and temporarily while charged, well, that makes sense. I mean, that happens in child support cases between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
No, absolutely. But here, he is an enforcement priority for expedited removal. So he's removed from this country. So do you think he's going to fly back? In the sense of, think of the cost and the inconvenience from his work and from wherever he is, to be heard on the offense? No. In my opinion, no, in most cases. So he's going to leave it open.
But he doesn't have to fly back. That's why he has an attorney like you who represents them. I've been in cases where I didn't have to be there. That's what the attorney's for.
Well, no, sometimes it would be nice to have somebody represent themselves in the sense of, not represent themselves without a lawyer, but be a witness and explain what happened there. You know,
yeah. But to paint it as if this is some sort of, oh man, he's just charged and now he's forever banished into oblivion someplace. That's not what it says, and that's not the result of what happens if he's found to be innocent. If he's found guilty, then think about it. They're already one step ahead of the process, sending him back to where he should have been in the first place.
Yes. I agree with you, but actually, on the other one, I'm not sure that I do agree with you. I think that what that says, yes, we are banishing him if he has been charged. That's like we create cases for 80 law firms nationwide, immigration cases, and so I talk to lawyers, and I've been getting a lot of calls on this presidential order, and everybody's reading 5B exactly that. You've been charged, you go from the local police to ICE hold to your country. Done.
Yeah, but 5B says, just verbatim so the audience can understand, it says, have been charged with criminal offense where such charge has not been resolved.
Correct. That means that nothing, in other words, you've simply been charged. We haven't had a trial, we haven't had anything happen, you simply need to be charged to be removed.
Right, to be removed, but it eventually that charge has to come to a resolution. There's no court in this country that's just going to let something hang open just because they want to keep it open.
Well, yes, but I mean, when you say resolution, I mean, let's say that, okay, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of these people who are charged are going to be from countries where they can't afford to ever come back or even hire representation. And 20% can. And those who can are going to request a B-1 visa to enter, which is a visitor for business purposes. They're going to request a visa to come in here, and they may even be denied the visa, because what I'm worried about is this. And I'm just taking a sidebar. I'm still on what you addressed. But here's what's going to happen. If the officers who make these decisions at the embassy level and at the border level are understanding the spirit, for lack of a better word, kind of generalizing, the legislative intent behind what President Trump wrote, they're going to enforce much more strictly. And it's going to be hard to even come in to face your own charges because you say, you know what, you don't qualify. So the only mechanism that I can see that can happen is maybe we'll keep the person in prison until, or a jail, I should say, or a holding facility, which is still a jail. We'll hold them there until they can be heard by the judge, make a decision. Maybe there's a trial, so they're going to spend 6 weeks now in jail, and then they either get to stay or they're removed. But do you see the impracticality of all that?
Well, yeah, but there's impracticality to what happens now. What would you propose would be a better solution to that?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that I have a better solution. I'm saying that we need to have at least some due process. Maybe they don't have the right to due process, but I think America is not about...
Yeah, but isn't that due process? Isn't due process, hey, you've been charged with a crime, you have that charge then heard before a judge or a jury, depending on the situation, and that charge is then resolved? Isn't that due process?
No, but it says here it doesn't have to be resolved.
But you just gave us an example of how to go through due process. You said, well, they're charged, they stay in a holding facility, and then they're heard by the judge, and that's the wrong thing to do. That, by definition, is due process. So why is due process the wrong solution? I'm out of time. We're going to have you back, because I could keep going on this for a while. We're going to have you back. I'm just plumb out of time. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Folks, that does it for today. Remember, I'm out of here tomorrow, so I'll see you in about a week. And look into jury nullification, no victim, no crime, apropos. Today, tomorrow, and as always, may your path lead to heaven, and may freedom follow in your footsteps.
Sometimes you're gonna get higher. Sometimes you gotta start low. Some people think they're gonna die someday. I got news, you never got to go.
Are you and your family spiritually and physically armed for the battle ahead? Announcing Hear the Watchman Dallas Conference, March 31st through April 2nd, 2017. Join L.A. Marzulli, Pastor Paul Begley, Anthony Patch, Michael Boldea, Josh Peck, and from Skywatch TV, Derek and Sharon Gilbert. Hear the Watchman returns to Dallas for a transformative weekend of unfolding prophetic events, revival worship, and restoration. Learn to put on the full armor of God in the natural and supernatural. The clock is ticking, and this super exciting event will soon be sold out. Come join the remnant body of Christ at the Hilton Lakes Conference Center for a powerful weekend that will open your heart and change your life. Discounted tickets are now on sale for a very limited time. Visit HearTheWatchman.com or click on the link provided by your favorite speaker to reserve your seats today for Hear the Watchman Dallas 2017.
Have you ever wanted a shortcut to getting the underground secrets to making money online and seriously grow your business? Whether it's a new business, a part-time income, or an existing business, you have this incredible limited offer to get a copy of this Amazon best-selling book on .com success for free. Uncover the success factors to make your business ignite. Go to secretsignite.com. That's secretsignite.com. Get your free copy now. Go to secretsignite.com.
Taking turmeric is good, but there's a problem with it. The active ingredient in turmeric, known as curcumin, is poorly absorbed into the cells due to its large particle size. But now, One Planet Nutrition has the answer for this powerful anti-inflammatory. Nanocurcumin, a nanoparticle curcumin which absorbs over 40 times better into your bloodstream. Discover more health benefits of nanocurcumin and nanocurcumin plus, now on sale at OnePlanetNutrition.com. Use promo code GCN for your special discount at OnePlanetNutrition.com.